We're looking to be a part of this conversation about great American whiskey. And we want to show that this can be done the right way. We're going to make every single drop that we put into a bottle. We're not going to take any shortcuts. We're not going to take any fast lanes to, increase revenue and that sort of thing. We are going to do it in a sustained way that really makes sense for everybody involved and for the product itself. We want to be proud of what we put on the shelf. My name is Bidrowski. I'm the packaging manager here at Law's Whiskey House. I've been at Law's Whiskey House for a little over 2 years. My favorite part about what I do is just the ability to go into the market and see the hard work of myself and my department on the shelves. I think it's really cool to be able to make a product and physically see that at the end of the day, knowing that you have this true physical, visual thing to look at to show what you accomplished. What makes Colorado different in terms of a whiskey producing state is really what makes every state different. American whiskey is, I think, having a reckoning right now about regionality, where other markets or other producing countries like Scotland have always had a very strong view towards that and understanding that different areas, different climates, different grain growing areas are going to produce different flavors and to really lean into that. And that's not something that we've really seen with American whiskey. Outside of that, a lot of people know that whiskey out of Kentucky is generally pretty good. Why outside of Kentucky is really to be able to explore how regionality, how temperature, how different grain growing regions affects a product and can make it distinctive and really just help kind of further that conversation in American whiskey. Law's is very locally focused. There's a lot of different ways to run a craft distillery, a lot of different sources for products, ingredients. We really wanted to speak to that regionality of Colorado, what makes a Colorado whiskey truly a Colorado whiskey, and how that integrates into the larger conversation about great American whiskey. So we only use grains that are grown here in state. We work with 2 family farms and they grow some really exceptional heirloom low yield grain for us that other producers wouldn't even be willing to supply. So to not only help those groups further their vision for their operations, but also allow us to kind of feed in and understand what makes this whiskey different due to its region. That's really important to us. And the ability to extend that out into maybe some less thought about materials is really exciting for us as well. The thing that I notice Law's cares about the most is the people. And without caring for the people, not just the people who work here, but the suppliers we work with and the customers that purchase our product. If we can do this the right way at every step, it's only going to lead to good outcomes for everybody involved. And you can see how that extends into philanthropic organizations that we help out and different things that we do in the community, and just also how we present ourselves as a brand. It is truly authentic, and it's not just a story that we tell people and then live a different way behind closed doors. So Law's, we're a very locally focused company, and when we started running into some supply chain issues, it became apparent that we needed to localize even further with some of our raw materials that might not be commonly thought of by the customer. And so when we were able to get in contact with Columbine Label and learned that they had an ability to help us out with these projects at a really high level, it was really exciting for us to not only say that, the grain and the water's from the state, but the label is as well. I haven't spoken to a single colleague of mine, either within this company or other groups, that hasn't experienced some supply chain issues over the last couple of years. We want to make sure that at the end of the day, we are not doing a disservice to our customer and that we're able to continue to provide this product, especially during difficult times. I think that idea of familiarity is really warming to people. And so being able to continue on and have that ability to put that product out. Columbine really helped us solve some issues when it came to some of our more specialty products that we needed some faster turnaround times on, and it took a lot of stress out of that equation, and it was really helpful during those moments and continues to be. It's really important for a brand like ours to be eye-catching and be distinctive, because we want people to realize that the product inside the bottle is also very distinctive. And we want to be simple yet informative. And I think that can be seen through the labels that we have Columbine produce for us, where there's a lot of information that people can really geek out on and, get excited that this spent this many years in a secondary cask finish, and this was the exact proof that it was harvested at, all that sort of thing, while still remaining simple, while still remaining eye-catching, and not trying to hide behind smoke and mirrors, and be very open about what we do, which is often rare in the industry to be as open as we are.